Chapter 62. Mojito. The casino was on the same floor as the kitchen. The room had retained its opulent style from the Roaring Twenties, and the guests had also dressed in classic style. Around an oval table in the center, a group was immersed in a poker game. Several others stood around the table and followed the game in silence. On stage, 4 black musicians played a classic jazz melody. Before departing, the security guard instructed Azer, "You'll be assisting the bartender over there." Azer glanced over at the bar. Being a former bartender himself, he felt comfortable in such settings. He walked up to the bar, grinned at the bartender, the gray-haired older man, and put the tray from the kitchen on one corner of the counter. On another tray at the counter, several drinks, champagne, whiskey, and more, were already prepared, waiting to be served. Azer adjusted the arrangement carefully, shifting the glasses to create a more stable balance. The bartender noticed and, smiling, commented, "It's great to work with someone who knows his craft." Azer glanced around the grand hall, his eyes settling on the gaming table at its center. He noticed a distinct cut in the dark red carpet surrounding the table in a perfect square. Given the building's shadowy past, he could easily imagine the floor, and the people around it, vanishing into a hidden air defense bunker below. Despite the strong aroma of Cuban cigars in the air, a faint musty odor, reminiscent of a Turkish public bath, seemed to rise from the gap. Deciding to stay cautious and keep his distance from Julius Fox, Azer made his way toward the music area. Still a few steps from the stage, he caught a sharp whiff of strong aftershave in the air. The pianist was in full swing, playing with such intensity that the rest of the band had no choice but to follow, occasionally adding a few light notes of their own. Smiling at the musicians, Azer placed 4 glasses of water, each with ice cubes, on a small table near the stage. The guitarist, who also led the band, returned the smile, a warm, genuine grin that reminded Azer of Louis Armstrong. He set down his guitar, stood up, and handed the glasses to the other players. Not far from the stage, a young woman in a stylish blue dress, with a necklace of oversized pearls draped around her neck, sat alone enjoying the music. Despite her elegant appearance, Azer noticed something unusual. There was no trace of perfume. Discreetly he sniffed again, but still there was nothing. Perhaps she was allergic to fragrances, or there was another reason. She reminded Azer of the woman he had seen at the house during Topaz's abduction. Azer respectfully stood by her table and moved one of the champagne glasses on the tray closer to her. However, she reached out and opted for a mojito instead. With a seductive smile she said, "Champagne is too mild for me. I prefer something stronger." She slowly raised her eyes to Azer's hair, took a small sip, and added, "Nice hair." Azer felt he was face to face with the assassin who had aimed a laser gun at him in the woods. Yet with a valuable pearl necklace, she seemed more like an upper-class escort than someone skilled with weapons. Azer smiled back and moved on. He approached the poker table and noticed Julius Fox among the players. Standing behind him, Azer asked, "Would you like a drink, sir?" Without turning around, Julius Fox raised his hand and declined the offer. He would undoubtedly recognize Azer upon seeing him, but he was focused on the game and fixed his gaze on his cards as Azer circled the table, offering drinks to the other players. Several guests had moved to the next room, connected to the bar by a large open door. It was a stunning ballroom with twin staircases leading up to a balcony on the upper floor. Azer admired the marble floor in a chess pattern and the grand crystal chandelier hanging from a colorful glass dome. He approached 2 younger men with North African appearances, both dressed in ethnic clothing. They stood by a massive window, engaged in hushed conversation. Upon noticing Azer, they gestured for him to stay away. Azer turned his attention to the floor above and spotted a young couple on the stairs, sharing a kiss. There was a potential opportunity to reach the 3rd floor where Topaz was held. However, Azer only had 2 champagne glasses and a small bowl of peanuts on his tray. He debated returning to the bar to collect the tray with the guard's meal. Yet that might expose him to Julius Fox. He proceeded up the stairs. The couple had finished their champagne and left the glasses on the steps above. Azer swapped the empty glasses for full ones. In doing so, he noticed a stylish handkerchief peeking out of the guy's jacket pocket. He retrieved the handkerchief and inquired, "Hey, I?"